start in just 1 second. All right, hello everyone, and welcome to Awaken to Happiness Now. I'm your host, Shefali Burns. Thank you so much for being with us today. This is going to be such a fun show. I'm really excited because I have a special guest who, is new to my show, but she's not new to me. So I've known her for a long time, since I think 2007. We have a really good friendship, and she's my go-to coach. As I've said a couple of times on these shows, that I have an intuitive coach. I have healers that I go to on a regular basis. So Jen is one of those people. So I'm so honored and happy to have her on the show to share her wisdom and her talents and her gifts with us. So let me tell you a little bit about Jen before we get started. So Jennifer Clark was Ottawa's first angel therapy practitioner and professional spiritual teacher certified by Doreen Virtue. She's an angel speaker facilitator and top integrated energy therapy master-instructor in Canada. She is an angel communicator, helping people discover their life purpose, shift karmic patterns by healing past life challenges, and connect and commune deeply with the angelic and ascended master realms. She is the founder of the Ottawa SIstas networking group and host of Rogers 22, TV's popular Gen Zen television show. So Jen, welcome to the show.
Hey Shefali, hey everyone, good evening. How is it going in webinar land? Love it, love it, love it that we can connect to so many cool people around the world.
Absolutely, and it's such an honor and it's so much fun.
I'm in my pajamas. I'm in my pajamas. This is the best part. I finally get to work in my pajamas.
That's what it's about. Yeah, exactly. I'm not, because I am on YouTube, so people are watching me, so I'm actually dressed up. I have makeup on and everything. But yes,
I'm gonna give you a nice pair of pajamas you can wear on YouTube.
That would be great.
I'm gonna do a thank you gift.
Oh, you're so sweet. So I've already said, but I'm going to say it again. If you have a question for Jen, it's *2 to raise your hand, or you can submit a question on the webcast page, or even on the Google Plus Hangout or YouTube. You can submit questions there as well. So I will be reading those questions to Jen. So Jen, before we get started, because I know we already have a lot of people with their hands raised, they have questions for you, so this is going to be fun. So can you tell us a little bit about how you became to be, and I'll be honest with you guys, she is a leader in Ottawa in the spiritual community, in the angel community for sure. She is a leader here, and she's somebody that I look up to, and she's my mentor. She's my coach. She's my mentor.
Oh, well, thank you. That's so nice. No pressure here.
no pressure. Absolutely.
You know what, though, Shefali? It's something. Again, this is what I teach because I lived it. Essentially, life either pushes you forward, dumps you in, kicks you out. Like I had the universal push. I grew up in a family that was very open-minded, I'll be honest. I did luck out. Both my parents, one was Greek Orthodox, one was Roman Catholic, which traditionally are some very sort of conservative, traditional Christian religions. Now, we weren't religious, but we certainly celebrated the high holidays, Christmas, Easter, that kind of thing, went to church. I grew up all around the icons, though. So Mother Mary's icon was in my home, Jesus Christ, of course, Archangel Michael, very common in the Mediterranean cultures to have this around. So, for me, they became friends of mine in picture form. And again, when I was a child, I certainly didn't necessarily think that they were still alive or still doing their work or whatever it all is now. But I had that experience, and then my parents were sort of, on the fringe in their world. They had their own psychics. We had a family psychic, and very established gentleman here in Ottawa. My parents would consult with him, once or twice a year. They had family friends that were psychic from England who were in the Theosophy Society. So at a very young age, I'm running around this lady's house, Carol Watkins, and tells me about ghosts and, talks about her ancestors living in the house and, all these stories and these mythologies because she grew up in the spiritualist, surgeons there in England, which is still very popular. And, for her it was very much real. And so I heard the stories and, I never really believed it wasn't true. I had no reason to believe or not believe, and so when people told me something, I said, okay, and off I went. So I came into the world in the sense with an open mind. I was reading Edgar Casey at a young age, Ruth Montgomery, so things were very, in my space before I was even aware of it. But again, I went to traditional school and, was trying to become a lawyer in university. And funny enough, at that time there was an election change, and where I was going was no longer an open space, and so I had to get redirected and found a job, luckily, early in my career, and sort of started exploring. So I had a job on the outside world, I was doing fine, I was doing well, but inside, I was bored. Inside, I was, is this all that there is? I wanted to make a change in the world. I wanted to know God more intimately. Again, we believed in God. Culturally, it was something outside of us, where we prayed to God. And so at that time, I was still searching, and I literally picked up a book at I think it was like the local spiritual store here in Ottawa, Conversations with God, by Neil Walsh, which many of your listeners have read or should read if they haven't. And so there I am, I don't know, it was pretty late in life, like 28 or so, reading Conversations with God. And there's a section in book 1 where, he's having a dialogue, Neil Walsh, with God. And I read it, and in my mind, I said to myself, I wonder if this could be true. And then outside of me, there was a discarnate voice, as if someone was standing beside me, loud voice, it was my right side, and said, why couldn't it be? And my perception at that time was that voice was male frequency. And then I turned my head because literally there was a sound. I turned to the discarnate voice, which didn't really register at that time. And I said, well, you just can't talk to God. And the voice said, who said? Why not? Mm-hmm. And immediately I had a kind of a mental breakdown because it was like less than 30-second conversation where everything happened so fast. This voice vibration, the frequency of this experience set chills through my body to the point where, when you have the flu and you're having chills, like my teeth were chattering, my bones were shaking. Mm-hmm. I couldn't function. I could have pooped my pants, quite frankly, quite easily. And whoever was that time there with me found me in the closet. Don't ask me why, in the closet of my bedroom, hugging myself, rocking, as if I've seen a ghost or, some kind of monster. And immediately it sent my thyroid, whatever happened, vibrationally sent my thyroid off. So I became hypothyroid. So I went from a size 8 to a size 4. Mm-hmm. And then I went from a size 4 to a size 14 in 6 months, which is very drastic on the body. Became very mentally unwell because auditorily my kinesthetic and psychic skills kicked in, but all at once. So I could hear things. I used to joke that I could hear a mouse crawl in heaven because it was such a loud sound for me, and there was all these sounds all at once. So I was very disturbed. I was praying like crazy because really I thought I was possessed. You just don't go to you had a divine experience. You kind of go into the fear-based, aspects and think something's got me. So I had to go get help. I was praying, and luckily I found a healer in Ottawa who basically just said, oh, dear heart, you're just talking to God. Go learn, go read. I did see a local doctor of psychology. He said he couldn't explain what was happening, but felt I was very sane and didn't, think I needed meds or didn't think I was possessed. Not that he would believe in that stuff. And I actually did see our family priest, which is quite a big deal in my religion. You kind of see the priest when you're baptized, when you die. You know what I mean? Like you're married. Like you just don't go talk to the priest about, I'm hearing God. So it was a very strange, crazy year and a half of my life. And, left, right turns. Finally, I found all the right people. Started doing Reiki just to get myself well. My Reiki teacher was very intuitive, so luckily I had a great teacher. And then she was the one who inspired me to find Doreen Virtue. At that time, Doreen Virtue was working out of Newport Beach or Laguna Beach area. Mm-hmm. And I ended up, I'll never forget this at work. I was telling my boss I was going on vacation to Newport Beach. And this was back in 1999. And he goes, oh, you're going to go, see the dolphins, go to the beach. I said, no, actually, I'm going to an angel workshop. And he looked at me, you know, I was like, what are you talking about? And I said, yeah, I'm going to go check this thing out. And so this thing turns out to be like sort of the pivotal point in my life, in the sense that that 1 week with Doreen Virtue kind of started the ball rolling in a bigger way. And I would say less than 3 maybe months after that, I became, I got into a very serious snowboarding accident. And I was in my bed for, I don't know, like really 3 months. It was crazy. I was on codeine 5s. I had like the worst break they've ever seen. I was puking all over myself, couldn't get up, couldn't function. Not, of course, at work, lying in bed, and praying to God, saying, what just happened to me here? You know, I'm on this path, and then all of a sudden, boom. It was really the worst time of my life. I wanted to die. I remember at that time I had to live with my mom and my sister because I couldn't take care of myself. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, your wrist, it's only your wrist that breaks, but your whole body shuts down. Like, you can't function. It's one of the worst breaks you can actually do in your physical body. And I would go in the basement not to disturb my mom and sister who had to work the next day and scream in pain. I was on so much pain and asking God to take my life because I couldn't bear the pain. And during that time, it was the best and worst times, you know, as the books are written. Mm-hmm. I started to journal. What's funny, though, I broke my left hand, which is my writing hand. So I had to start to write with my right hand, and very difficult to do. And I still have those journals where I'm, like, talking to God and trying to, like, connect. And what I learned then and what I know now is, you know, the universe takes you out when they want your attention. It's death, divorce, disease, disaster. And so mine was sort of a disaster, if you will. And when I got back to work, I was forced back to work and didn't feel could function. Like, even my legs didn't even work well. Like, it was a very strange place to be. Less than 3 months after I was back to work in, I want to say May, June, July 1st, 2001, we're in now, I got fired. Mm-hmm. Without cause. And again, that was one of the worst days of my life. I got this big fat paycheck, and they said, thank you, no thank you, we don't need you anymore. And in less than 30 minutes, after being 7 years career with this group of people that I considered friends, you know, I had grown up with a lot of these people and worked alongside of them, I was done. Like, I was out. I was out the door, bags packed, gone. And 3 days later, again, the universe always responds if you're in the flow and if you can keep your head above water. I opened up, I rented a room in a health clinic, a holistic clinic, downtown Ottawa, and I never looked back. 6 months after that, I was on television. 6 months after that, I had my own radio show. I was on radio for 12 years every week. You know, like, it's kind of crazy. It's been 13 years since those events. So, you know, the universe uses these difficult, challenging experiences to get your attention, to redirect you, and also to move you along the right path. But when you're a very fear-based, you know, human, mm-hmm. and you're clinging on, you know, to a paycheck or to a relationship or to a way of life, it can really feel scary. And I know you've lived it as well, and I'm sure many of your listeners, you know, have as well.
Oh, absolutely. And but you know, I like what you said about sometimes, you know, death, divorce, disease, and all that. It's a way for the universe to get your attention. And I know for me, I've had, you know, horrendous experiences, and yep, the universe got my attention for sure. And that's why I'm grateful for those experiences, because I wouldn't be where I am now and who I am now and as connected as I am now if I hadn't gone through those experiences.
Yeah, and the saying goes, you know, that which will not kill you will make you stronger, which I agree to a point, because now, you know, I'm learning that you can learn through joy. You don't have to learn through pain. And frankly, had I really been paying attention, you know, that time in my life, I would have left on my own volition that work. You know, I would have done it on my own. But again, the paycheck, what else could I do? The laziness really kept me stuck. And so they did it for me. Mm-hmm. But luckily they did it for me in a way that, you know, I had a lot of money. Like, if they gave me a big fat paycheck, I was really okay for quite a long time. And within 3 days, you know, I was back on the road, moving along.
Mm-hmm. Good for you. No, that's fantastic, because sometimes we do get stuck in that fear of what are we going to do now? You know, everything has fallen apart. I don't know what to do. But being in the flow makes the big difference. If you're in the flow and you're open to receiving information and listening to your intuition, then usually you can't go wrong. You will find a path. You will find a way.
Yeah, and as our teacher, the Algonquin medicine man Pete Bernard tells us, you know, you dive through a problem, you don't dive into it. If you can picture a lake or a creek or something, you don't want to dive in and get stuck. You want to dive through it and get to the other side. So it's a shallow dive, meaning, you know, you have your emotions, you process your anger and your grief for maybe a week. You don't do it for a year. You know what I mean? Like you got to heal your way through it to the other side. Through forgiveness, through cord cutting, through you know, cognitive therapy, energy work, prayer, whatever works. I mean, there's many ways to roam, but it's to understand that at a higher level, theoretically, the universe is conspiring in your favor. It's a difficult answer to give for me to a mother who's lost a child, you know, prematurely. Like any parent who's lost anything is the most difficult conversation I've ever had, because I can't always give them a good answer. I can give them the theory, which I believe. I do believe it. Having said that, I also would be very human in the disbelief and the anger. But I know when I do my Healing Through Grief workshops here, and I have a Facebook group called Healing Through Grief to help people through it, because grief is one of the heaviest emotions to clear. It's one of the hardest. The angels, actually some of the angels can't get through, frankly. Your own presence sometimes can't get through anger and betrayal and grief of a death, you know, when there's a real core loss. The human being has gone into that abyss so deeply that it can take a long while for light, you know, to be felt again. And people, of course, think even more so that God or the angels or consciousness or higher, whatever it is for them, whatever words they call it, has abandoned them. So it further, you know, perpetuates this wounded reality. And it's really difficult. I know I haven't seen this movie yet, but apparently everyone I know who's seen the movie Maleficent, you know, Angelina Jolie's new movie, apparently it's a very spiritual movie in terms of, you know, darkness being created out of betrayal and then having light come back into it and regret. And it's I mean, I encourage people to go check it out, because I've only heard amazing things about it. But grief is a frequency that is hard to shift if you don't have the right energy tools. Do you know what I mean? So I encourage anyone who is grieving, and I mean grieving of not just physical death, it could be the loss of a dream, the loss of a relationship, the loss of the hope of an idea, an invention, a project, to really get some help, you know, through it, so that you can get to the other side and, you know, repurpose it, mulch it, make sense of it, move forward, start over, whatever the healed outcome might be.
Now, Jen, before we go on to all the questions, because like I said, we have a lot of people with their hands raised and a lot of questions on the Q&A, I want to talk just briefly about, you know, one or two tools that we can use right now, one or two energetic tools that we can use right now to, you know, be closer to who we truly are, to connect with our inner soul.
So everyone has a soul, whether they believe it or not, and that soul is called the I Am presence, capital I, capital A, capital M. And the word I am, or two words I am, are the two most important words in the English language. It's a phraseology that says I am that I am, meaning I am God, or the God lives within me. And in the I Am teachings, or people call it also the Ascended Master teachings, they talk about the sacred fire, and the sacred fire here being one of them being the violet flame. So people can Google this, violet, V-I-O-L-E-T, meaning the color, not the violent, the adjective, violet fire, and doing 15 minutes of meditation using the violet flame or violet fire every day. Only 15 minutes, where you're imagining purple fire, healing energy coming up from the earth, going up through your feet, up to your sacred heart, the center of your chest, up out the top of your head, whatever you believe up is, like so the center of the great central sun, the physical sun, the sky, heaven, whatever it is for you, and come all the way back down. So up and down, heaven and earth, connecting in your body at the physical heart, which is, at the sacred heart, which is the center of the chest, using purple fire healing energy. Purple fire, the violet flame, was the gift that was given to, let's talk about Adam and Eve in theory. I'm not saying they were real people, but let's believe in a story where we landed here, we were sent here, we were created here, whatever way you want to perceive it as. The 4 directives that those original man, original women, divine man, divine woman would have been given are: you're born to be happy, you're born to be healthy, you're born to make this world a better place with your creative genius, and you're born to be so abundant with the resources you need, you can share your resources with others. And how they lived those 4 directives was using the violet flame. So in sacred fire, in direct commune with it, like a meditative act of union with the divine. They would constantly be connected to the great central sun, which you call source, people call God, connected to the planet they lived on, Gaia, and they'd be in direct union with this presence. The Christians call the violet flame the Holy Spirit. It's one of the colors of the Holy Spirit, white being one of them. Purple being, though, the color of change transformation. So purple, the violet color, was directly given to the people of Earth to purify their karma, to bring out their immortality, disease-free, having all kinds of resources, opportunities, whether it's human world stuff or creativity, and I need to invent the new widget to save the world, whether that's a spiritual connection with their own I Am presence, their own guardian angels and guides, loved ones, talk to the plants, the animals, nature, whatever way they wanted to use it. And by the way, the ancient ones did it all that. That's how they lived these divine lifetimes. So the simplest thing that anyone can do anywhere, this has got no religion attached to it because it's pre-religion, is using the violet flame. To the point where, as you know, Shefali, I created a Facebook group called the Sacred Fire Violet Flame Mastermind Group because I know this ancient secret. It's been talked about pre-Atlantis, before. It's been through every civilization in some shape or form. And it's the cheapest, freest, easiest, quickest way to get change and transformation in your life. If you do it every day, in 7 days, you'll notice a huge difference. If you do it for 30 days, you'll almost get a mini miracle of some kind. And if you do it for the rest of your life, like, you will see yourself rising above the problems. Like you're going to have to get some kind of learning, because so Earth School will give you tests, but you'll be able to sort of move through it faster, quicker, with more, whatever you need or want, support, love, light. So the violet flame is the first one.
Right. The
second tool would be forgiveness. Forgiveness. And I would tell people to, research the Ho'oponopono from Hawaii if they don't already know it. It's a phrase, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And if you say that over and over with the people that have pissed you off, who have betrayed you, who have hurt you, and we're talking about love of a cosmic love. So I'm not saying you love the human, you say, I love the part of you that's God, and I'm sorry that this has happened to us. And for whatever I've done, please forgive me, and whatever you've done, I forgive you, because I know if I carry this forward, I sink. Again, it's a very Buddhist tenet. There's a very famous Buddhist, saying where someone got angry, and the old monk says, why are you carrying him continually? Like, when you're angry, you're the one who gets hurt.
That's right.
That other person does not get affected. By being angry, you're just toxifying your own organs, and causing more, crap to hit your fan, and the other person that pissed you off is like merrily tricking along. Like, it doesn't serve anything. So be human, be angry for a bit, do your violet flame, do your forgiveness, and again, I would add in sea salt baths twice a week, doing sea salts when things are really, stressful or energetically distorted. Sea salts here because the natural sea salt actually takes away negative energies out of the auric field, whereas traditional Epsom salts keeps energy in the body. So Epsom salts are great when you have a physical injury. There's a muscular injury. That's amazing. Do it for that. But when you're wanting to have an energetic detox or an emotional detox, it's sea salt baths. And, cheapest sea salt you can get your hands on because you're putting it in the water. And it's really about 2 cups. And you soak and then you wash off before you go to bed. It's usually right before bed because you're so drained after it. The only people who shouldn't use sea salts is, of course, people with heart issues. So people with heart issues do not use sea salts at all. Otherwise, it's fairly safe. Double check. Everyone needs to double check what works for them best. But most people do well with sea salts, and those 3 fairly free, inexpensive things can actually change someone's life.
Simple, and you're right. They're fairly free. 2 of them are totally free and easy to do. And you can start doing it today. Don't wait for some other time. We can do the violet flame.
But here's my point, Shefali. Yeah, you and I have talked about this. I've talked about it in public when you've attended workshops and lectures of mine, and I've told you in private. This stuff is so easy, people don't do it.
That's right.
It's so simple, people don't do it. So understand, I already know that people won't do it. They're looking for a more complicated answer, and I've challenged anyone who's looking for anything from the divine, whether it's communion, connection, messages, money, disease-free, whatever it is. If you start here, as you're doing every other thing that, the human world suggests you do, it's going to amplify you, and it's going to propel you to get there faster, quicker, and easier.
Wonderful. So yeah, that's a challenge, you guys. Start, and then I'll do it too, because you're right. Yeah, Jen is totally right. She's talking to me when she says that. I know people aren't doing it, because I know about this too. And do I do it? No, I did it the other day, but that was once, right? That was once, so that wasn't every day.
Yeah, see, what the violet flame is, it's cumulative. One of the laws, and when you study the sort of the Ascended Master teachings and the I Am teaching, is you find out that using the violet flame is cumulative. So the more you do, the more it builds up momentum, and then you hit a tipping point. And the tipping point then sort of sends you forward, and you kind of don't look back because it becomes maintenance at that point. So you do need effort and attention, and the good news is it brings you a deeper connection to your own I Am presence. People call it the higher self, the soul. You will connect more deeply with your angels and guides. Physical things, resources, opportunities, relationships will become easier, quicker will come. The world will kind of start to open up to you in a more loving and magical way. So there's so many reasons why to try it, especially if you're broke and your back is broken, you're broke, you have nothing. Yeah. You can do the violet flame, and that's why it's not being done because it's so universal. I just think, again, my perspective is people just underestimate it, or because they haven't tried it for a full week or for a full month. And that's, again, why I did start that free open Facebook group, Sacred Fire Violet Flame Mastermind, because I'm really trying to remind people of the ancient teachings. Again, these aren't my teachings. I did not invent this. I'm just a student of these ancient teachings, as were many of the ancient masters in our human world, and of course the ancient Ascended Masters talk about it all the time. So it was, the violet flame teachings really kicked in the 1930s, or kicked back in the 1930s in Mount Shasta, California, with the Ascended Master Saint Germain appearing to the American man Godfrey Ray King, and he wrote the books and then started sort of moving the energy forward. So it's a wonderful place we're in, Shefali, in terms of a planet, because everything's being broken down. Everything is, people are throwing up their shit, no offense, with a silent F. And they're looking for tools, to get through. And I just challenge people, before you spend, millions of dollars or thousands of dollars on whatever new gadget, do this first. Do this free stuff first to get yourself to think better, clearer, to see, is that really necessary? And some of these tools do work. But having said that, you don't necessarily need all the crap that goes along with spirituality or healing.
Wow. So Jen, I have a comment from Ginger, and I know she's on the she has her hand raised as well, but she says, blessings to both of you, Shefali and Jennifer. I've heard about the using of the violet flame before, but this is the absolutely best description of the flame and how to use it I have ever heard.
Well, thank you. I don't know about that, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
Absolutely, yeah. Because we have. Go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
I was just going to say, because we have had other teachers, speakers on our shows who have talked about the violet flame as well, right? But this is, it was so easy and so understandable, you know, and yeah, I love it too. So I think we're going to go
I just challenge you to do it. Like even if you don't understand it, just do it. Like, you know, if you're on this show, you're looking for something. Like, let's be honest. Yeah. You know, if you were enlightened and perfected, you wouldn't need me or Shefali or anybody. So if you're here, you need something. You need you're looking for something else. You know, more of this or something like that. So I'm just going to say, start with this process. It's 15 minutes. You can Google on YouTube, you know, 15-minute violet flame. There's about a bazillion options on our Facebook page, Sacred Fire Violet Flame on Facebook. We offer ones we like, you know, ones we've tried out and done, and there's a whole group there now. There is no wrong way to do it. It's the wrong thing would be not to try it. Like, that's the only wrong, if there is a wrong in the world.
Yeah. And I can tell you right now, people have already started, asked to join that group, Jen, just so you know.
We're starting the movement, Shefali. We're starting the movement. Yeah. And again, it's really, I have, you know, friends that are serious, like they're hardcore when they, like my good friend Monica, she's a Buddhist, so that's pretty hardcore in and of itself. And she just added with her Nam Myoho Renge Kyo chanting, the violet flame. Well, I'm not kidding you. She is one of the richest, I mean, literally, people I know. She doesn't have to work. She does pretty much whatever she wants. She lived in this crappy house. Don't ask me why she was even in there, but she got there. She said to the universe, okay, I need this crappy house in this crappy neighborhood sold in a week. All the real estate agents that she talked to said no, impossible. She did the violet flame. Now, she's Buddhist, so she can do this chanting for some, like, you know, hours. Like, she can really get deep into her process. And she's very, very disciplined and dedicated with it. Within 3 days of her asking the universe and her presence, violet flame, bring me this, and she violet flamed her house, her community, and all the sort of negatives, a knock on her door, this is a very true story, came, and it was a woman builder, which is funny to me because most builders are male, but anyway, it was a female who is an investment developer, said to Monica, I want to buy this house. I need this corner for a future development. Would you ever consider selling? I'm going to level it. So all the concerns anyone had were alleviated by this woman's desire. The woman paid my friend cash.
Wow.
Cash. My girlfriend left, you know, I mean, it wasn't a lot of money. It was $190,000. I mean, more money than a lot of people have, but not, you know, in terms of real estate house, but cash. And it went right to the bank and whatever. And my girlfriend was not kidding. She was packed bags ready onto her next place within 2 weeks.
Wow. Nice.
Like, things that are unheard of, like that, you know, that the experts say not possible. And I've just learned, you know, I've been really lucky, Shefali, and you are too. Ottawa, our community, we've got really cool people here. And the spiritual community, the metaphysical community is very strong. We've got some really talented leaders that really are international level. And I've had the pleasure of witnessing life through them. I haven't yet had those really cool, you know, ones, although I did, after an energy healing, did win a trip to Hawaii. So, I mean, I'll take that any day. But I've had the pleasure of seeing it in the human world. Because, again, what is interesting is we could read these lovely books. They're stories. Mythologies. You know, we need to see it in the human world. We need the average Joe or Jane get the miracle, have the change happen, whether it's the parking spot, whether it's traffic opened up, whether the money came, whether the cancer went away, you know, whatever miracle we're looking for. And that's part of the reason why I wanted that group, Sacred Fire, is to show the human world perspective. Because everything's theory in a book. It's easy for an angel or an ascended being to tell you, you know, meditate for, you know, 10 hours or, you know, stop eating coffee or drinking coffee or meat or, you know, whatever. It's in the human world, like the density, you know, life, stress, time, tired. I'm like you, Shefali. Do I have 15 minutes to do the violet flame? Most days, no. But here's the question. Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? So if I don't have 15 minutes to do the remedy, I have enough time, though, to sit and wallow in the pain.
Yeah.
Right? Of lugging around my tired body, or being poor in my finances, or having, you know, unharmonious relationships. So there's a cost somewhere.
Oh, absolutely.
And so this is why I'm telling people is find the time, because you already have time to be sick. You already have time to be stressed out, or time to be sad, or time to be depressed. So let's try this.
Yeah,
you know, and one of the great teachers, one of the great teachers of the Violet Flame, again, was an American woman named Elizabeth Clare Prophet. In her early years, she was quite powerful, quite important in the teachings. In her early career, she would tell people, when you're watching TV, at every commercial, do the Violet Flame. And in one TV show, you would have done your homework for the day. So again, you watch TV, turn off the TV when you have commercials. If you're waiting in line at the grocery store, the bank, stuck in traffic, sitting on a bus, you know, going for a bike ride. I actually, sometimes I'm told by my guides, go take your bike and bike around your neighborhood and send up the Violet Flame. So you can be doing very human stuff without being in deep, you know, meditative consciousness to actually use the Violet Flame and have it in you. Now, I don't recommend you start that way, but when you've practiced it enough and you can grab its frequency well enough, you can live your life using the Violet Flame. So my feeling is people are itching for some questions. I think people are like chomping on the bit.
Yes, absolutely. So for those of you who are wondering, it is *2 to raise your hand, and we will try to get through as many as we can. So just warning you all. All right, so we're going to go to Sylvie in Ottawa first, because she's right here. Hold on 1 second. Sylvie?
Yeah.
Hi.
Yes, hi. Hi.
Sylvie.
Hi, Jen.
Hi.
Hi, Shefali.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. I don't know why. It just told me to call, so I called and see.
Why do you need my help, Miss Sylvie? You're the teacher yourself.
I don't know. It was told me to call, so I called. I didn't.
Okay. So now, Sylvie, just so you know, I recognize the voice.
Yeah.
She was a guest on my TV show. She's a very popular spiritual teacher here in Ottawa, colleague of mine. So, Madame Sylvie, my sense is the new home is going to bring you a new man. Are you single still?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So, you know, shave your legs and, you know, get a new set of bra and panties for guests and visitors, because I just think that new home you've just bought is going to welcome something bigger in.
That's exactly the feeling I had. That's interesting. And it was just telling me to call, and I didn't know why.
But I think it's the neighborhood, though. It's this person's in the neighborhood.
Oh,
like
that's
neighborhood, perhaps as a result of you, I don't know, playing tennis at the local park, or you know, going to a local library. It could be literal neighbor, or just in the neighborhood as you sort of, you know, go about your neighborly business in the local community. This person's going to be there. So it's going to be a very gentle, you know, very gentle meeting, very organic, which is always the best way of doing it. And as they say, make room in the closet for, you know, the other person's clothing. You know, make sure that your bedroom's not all pink and teddy bear, you know. You need to make it a little more friendly.
That is so funny.
For the opposite sex. And the book, I would tell you, I mean, not that you need this, but we all need sometimes a different set of eyes on our story. It's a book called Calling in the One. It's by a woman named Catherine Woodward Thomas, an American author, lovely woman. Callingintheone.com for anyone listening who's single and consciously looking for a conscious life partner. It's a book I wish I wrote, frankly. Yeah. It's excellent. At every chapter, there's homework. Really gets you to get really intense and introspective about, you know, what pulls you, what pushes you, what makes you who you are. And by the end of the book, most people I know, like I recommend this to all my clients who are single looking for love as part of self-discovery, end up actually having a relationship. So, Madame Sylvie, crack open the book, shave the legs, get rid of the teddy bear, Get some new underwear.
That's awesome, because you know what? About 10 to 15 years ago, I had a vivid dream, and it was telling me your children will come when you have your own house and your own garden. At that time, I was married, but I was in an abusive relationship, so I got out. And at that time, I had my house, but it was just not my house. We were
Yeah.
You know? And I didn't have a garden, and I was like, I know nothing about a garden. Well, the funny thing is the house that I just saw was my massage therapist's house, so I was just getting a massage when I decided to ask a question, and that's how I decided to buy the house.
Oh, awesome.
And,
well,
and it had a garden.
Yeah, I'd focus, though, on the garden. So there's something, every time you use the word garden, the energy triggers for me, like it lights up. So there's something about the garden. Either you're going to shop for the garden, you meet the guy, or the guy comes in to help you with the garden, or you meet him in the garden. I'm not really sure how that would happen, but it's something to do with the garden.
I don't know much about gardening, so that's the funny part. But there's
and you might look for outside help, or you might ask a neighbor, or you might, so just really love that garden and be in it as much as you can this summer before the our snow kicks back in. So enjoy it as soon as you can.
That's so funny.
All right. Well, I hope that helps, Madame.
Thank you so much, both of you.
Well.
You're doing an amazing job. Have
much
fun.
Success to you. Much success to you.
Thank you, Sylvie. See you soon.
Thank you, Shefali. Bye-bye.
And I just want to point out really quickly, some of the stuff that Jen told Sylvie is for anybody who may be looking for a new relationship or a new partner, So.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm saying for anybody who is single, who's conscious, who is looking for a conscious relationship, not just a body to lie beside or under or above or whatever it is, is this book. It's Calling in the One. And not that I can guarantee anything, but there's a really good chance that once you've done the homework, and it takes a while to get through the book, I'll be honest. A lot of people pick it up, put it down because it's too intense. Will be vibrationally open to that relationship. This is the woman, Shefali, Catherine Woodward Thomas, who invented the term uncoupling, that Gwyneth Paltrow was famous, to be quoted for her marriage with Chris Martin. So she's the woman that invented that term, and she's a very lovely woman in the U.S.
Yeah, absolutely. I've definitely heard of her as well, and I know she's been on other shows as well because I've seen her name. I know it's great advice. So yeah, I mean, I don't need to. I mean, Robert told me to pay attention and listen to you when you were talking to Sylvie. I was like, yeah, it's all good.
Okay. So what's the next question?
All right, so we're going to go to Shweta in Toronto.
Shweta, cool name.
Thank you. Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I'm loving this chat today.
Oh, good.
I'm calling because a couple of months ago I just started a new position, a new job. I kind of switched industries, and I think I love it.
Yes. What was the industry you're in?
Well, I'm in recruitment, but I'm in a startup.
Yeah. Well, what's really weird is I just got you working for yourself in your own business. So is there any way that this, I get the concept of a startup, being a business coach. It's not what I'm saying is, so you may be in a startup for now, but what I'm seeing you is running your own business, though. So would you ever take that leap of faith longer term to do your own thing?
Possibly.
Yeah, my sense is, be open to the experiences and to the networks you're going to create and meet with this new experience. All the lessons you're going to learn, which is always fun in startups.
Yeah.
But it's about this phase you're in is actually boot camp for running your own business.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So what I would be doing is really mentoring with some really cool, CFOs, CEOs, whatever level you need to be with. Get a mentor. Start joining some women's business networking groups that are cool and fun, but again, forward-thinking urban professionals, moving forward. And there's something about you and events. So I know you said you're a recruiter, but something about an event, to plan an event planning, or using social media for an event to do some kind of recruiting innovation will put your name on the map. So it's sort of like a party meets You know, like Vodka Absolute has this party in the upstairs pool of the hotel downtown Toronto, meets recruiting, Harv Eker, Anthony Robbins 101, meet Microsoft, you know, party at Google. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's something all like that. So I really would start to go outside the box to see how you can help this young company be bigger.
That's amazing. Thank you. I will.
Yeah, thank you. Be well, and let me know how it goes.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you, Shweta. All right, fantastic. Now, for those people who are who have submitted questions on the Q&A, yes, I have not forgotten you, and I'm going to do a few of them right now. Okay, so
is there a Bob? But just out of curiosity, I'm reading the energy of a Bob. Is there a Bob? Roberta, Robert on the, not your Robert, but Robert on the phone?
Is there another Robert on the phone? I don't know. It doesn't show me the names of people.
It doesn't. I'm just curious. Okay, that's fine.
It doesn't always say the names. Sorry, where was I? Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna. I have Hazel in Canada. Okay, and she says, I'd love to know who are my angels and what guidance they can give me for my current situation. I have no job and I feel so confused. I don't even know what kind of job I want now, and I stay stagnant. So please help me move forward.
Yes, so again, this is, Hazel is a perfect candidate for starting the violet flame, okay, starting to do a grounding meditation. A grounding meditation means that your roots go into the earth. When you don't know where to go, the legs aren't in action, and think of yourself like a tree, Hazel's roots aren't connected enough. So she's not being able to feel safe enough to make a move. So the energetic problem, first of all, is that I track is she's not connected. So being not connected means you're not in the flow, and not in the flow means you don't get the opportunity. So that's the first thing she can do while she doesn't have a job, when she is, quite frankly, just at home worrying, like tell her to do, her energy work. So forgiveness to life in general. I forgive myself. I forgive my mom. I forgive my dad. I forgive him. I forgive her. I forgive life for letting this happen. That's a general. And then the violet flame, 15 minutes a day, seeing the purple fire like an eraser, a magic eraser, taking away her problems, putting money back in her bank account, putting good friends around her, putting her in a job she loves. And she doesn't even have to know what that kind of job is. She just sees herself in a space serving people. Now, Hazel's real role is to be some kind of life coach, nurturer, caretaker, mother, nurse, archetype, the teacher, healer, the nurturer, the caretaker. So Hazel's what we call an earth angel. So Hazel, if you're listening, Google earth angel, start to read about it, start reading about, there's a book called The Realms of the Earth Angel by Doreen Virtue. Will tell you why you are the way you are, highly sensitive, highly intuitive, but also, being picked on a lot and not getting what you want early stages of certain parts of your life, because we need to shift and change that so that you can be earth angel who, attracts good things and speaks and shares. I know she wants a job because, we live in a world where we have to pay rent or, mortgages, hydro, heat, whatever. I would tell her, though, to go into, if she's in Canada, charityvillage.ca website, click on the community she lives in, because this is sort of like a philanthropic human resources network for, things like charities, hospitals, foundations. So as an earth angel, Hazel's greatest gift is to help others. Now, she still can get paid as an administrative, as an entrepreneur in an organization, like a community center, at a provincial level or a federal level, like whether it's the Sense Foundation, CHIO, hospital, something like that. It's a feel-good place. I see a lot of people around her. I see her playing more like an operations manager, program director role, or administrative role, but middle management, sandwiched in between lower and higher ups. And right now it's the foot in the door. Could also be a school, by the way, a college, a local college, community college as well. They want her just to get her legs connected. So she has a table and no legs on the table, Shefali, so she's not being able to support herself. And that poverty kills spirit. It's really hard, to know God when your human life is in chaos. So financial roots are really important in this physical world. That's just as a fact of this modern world's life. So right now is to get her a job, even a contract job. They're telling me that even a job where, you know, she's replacing a mat leave for someone if she doesn't really know what she wants, that to go to an employment agency, submit her resume. They're telling her to get a skills-based resume, though, which is a different format, and take it to a local, let's say, what do you call those people? Like, you know, a job hunter or job placement company, and to focus on more feel-good, social advocacy type of employers. CharityVillage.ca can give her a whole list of some in her community. And even take a mat leave or a contract position just to get the ball rolling while she continues to do her violet flame, her forgiveness, positive thinking, you know what I'm saying to you, getting out in nature, being more positive, grateful that the sun rises once again. And my sense that in a year and a half from now is when she really feels settled. So what I'm trying to say is there may be a short-term road, a temporary solution that feels like let's say she's drowning and in comes a log. She grabs the wand saying, thank God, I've got this log. I can lie on it. It supports me enough. But then the log floats to shore. So it's like she's taking the steps to go from one state of crisis into a safer one. It may take a year and a half for the whole process to take shape, but if she does the violet flame, if she does forgiveness, if she you know, does some grounding work, whether she takes Reiki locally, takes her sea salt baths, Googles it, whatever, within 3 months is when I see a job opportunity come her way. Right now looks like a job placement company helps her out. And yeah, it starts the ball rolling into a more financially secure, physically, you know, able space where her emotions will balance out, her psychic gifts will come back online. At that point, they're suggesting she take hands-on healing classes, angel classes, crystal classes, some sort of spiritual, could be meditation, could be anything really, that gets her open-minded to her own presence and powers, because that will lead her to the next final step. One of the archangels she works with is Archangel Raphael, and one of the devotional figures, we call them Ascended Master, is Mary, Mother Mary, Mary of Bethlehem, the Virgin Mary, whatever you prefer to call her. She's got nothing to do with any religion, even though she's famous, you know, in the Catholic Christian world. She herself is Jewish. She herself is an archangel. And she is actually Raphael's twin flame. So Lucky Hazel, as an earth angel, has Raphael, the archangel of healing, and his twin flame, what is a sort of a technical term for wife, Mother Mary. So very, very powerful healing and love connecting energy around Hazel. So I really encourage her to read up about earth angels, to do her forgiveness, research the Ho'oponopono, research the violet flame, and get on Charity Village and a job placement company in her local area.
Wonderful. Thank you. So Hazel, go back and you might want to listen to this recording again afterwards, because there was a lot.
Yeah, Hazel, yeah.
Share.
Take notes.
All right, so I have a quick question from Louise in Munich, Germany, and she says, hello, at the moment I'm worried about my 7-year-old son. I would please love the angels' help and guidance on what is going on with him and how I can help and support him.
Name. So my did she give the name of his son?
No.
No. Okay. Initially, what I'm getting is a lot of fear-based energy being projected on the child. How do I explain this one? Think of little people as being very sensitive, like little sponges. And wherever they go, they can pick up on stuff, like whether it's a crazy energy in a mall or a school, you know, with all the other kids' energy, or it could be the playground, it could be sports, it could be traffic, you know, sitting in traffic. So this woman's son is very energy sensitive, and my sense is that he's not energetically protected enough to handle the overwhelming, surge of non-physical energy around him. So basically, he's a clogged drain. Mm-hmm. And she needs to help him clear up his energy fields. She can do that with half a cup of sea salt in a bath, and if he can soak, boys don't really like baths, but see what she can do. She can take him to a Reiki practitioner who can do the healing work in person or, long distance. I actually do that, Shefali. Like a lot of my practice, as you know, here in Ottawa is working with children and teenagers around the world. And I do it absentee long distance because, in fact, you don't need the physical body of the child anywhere, anybody. It's faster to work on them anyway when you just can go into their energy fields and, heal all the gunk you see. Mm-hmm. So there's a couple options in her way that are like some expensive, some, cheap. It depends on what her philosophy is. The angels, though, show me that it's really an issue that it's a sensitive soul, a little person who's gotten too much gunk, and he's feeling sluggish, nervous, fearful, angry. Like it's not making him feel good. And so just like if you hadn't had a shower in a month, you might not feel good. You know what I mean? So lots of baths, lots of showers, lots of fresh air, lots of fresh water, lots of energy medicine where her community will support it or she can get it. If not, you can go to get it long distance, absentee. And she just needs to know that as a mother, she has a lot of power to help her son. So she can pray if she's open to the verb prayer or ask the universe for help. So the prayer is this: I call upon Divine Mother, and Divine Mother is everywhere to flood, name the child.
Oh, hold on. We just... Jen, you went mute for a second.
Oh, hello?
There you are. Okay.
Yeah, so let's repeat that. So as a physical mother, she has a lot of power to ask the universe to help and intervene on the child's behalf. So the prayer would be, or the mantra if you prefer to call it this: I call upon Divine Mother, and Divine Mother is everywhere to flood my son with as much help and healing as he needs at this time. And she would simply imagine the sun being flooded with pink fire healing energy. Mm-hmm. Pink fire is unconditional love itself. It also heals karma. It's the safest color to use because it just is love itself. So she could be doing that every day before bed as her nightly ritual. I just get it's an energetic distortion that if she could get him some crystals like smoky quartz or black tourmaline or anything that would clear his energy fields. Fluoride would work as well. Perhaps some Larimar, that also helps. A lot of the young kids wear, like, the leather strap, or put the crystal in the pocket or in the knapsack, depending on what would be allowed at school or during the day. And if nothing else, underneath their bed or their mattress that's sleeping at night. My sense is the community he's in, whether that's like the school, the class, the friends, the environment, is somehow impacting him in a way that he can't process all the energy that he's absorbing, and it's making him feel unwell. Hmm. So try it that way. The good news is most of this stuff is inexpensive to do. Yeah. Tough to get a kid's participation, though, if they think this is all crazy. Or, even at age 7, they still have a lot of free will to exercise and exert. But she can pray on his behalf as a mother to a child. Mm-hmm. And that should help as well.
Yeah, wonderful.
So I wish her luck.
Absolutely, yeah, thank you. So, yeah, please do that prayer especially. And that is something that Jen has told me to do even for my son. So, it makes a big difference. And it's just sending them, unconditional love is basically what we're asking for. And that does not cause any harm to anyone anywhere.
Yeah, and it's not you're not projecting your will on the situation. Unconditional love does its own work. So you're just asking that Divine Mother because this is the archetype that requires this. Divine Mother is the helper function in the prayer to intervene on your child's behalf, and your child could be 82 years old. It doesn't matter how old the kid is. Parents are parents for life. So,
oh, for sure.
Use that prayer.
Okay, we're going to go now to Brampton. Area code 905. Hello, hi.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for taking my call.
Wonderful. How can I help?
Well, I've been in my current job for just over 2 years, and I just would like to know if, where it will progress, or I'm also thinking about real estate, like investment-wise.
Well, investment-wise, do it. Yeah, investment-wise, do real estate, but not as your job.
Right.
Yeah, so do it as a revenue-generating longer-term strategy. That's fine, but not real estate to sell houses on your own.
Right. No, I didn't want to do that.
Yeah. Now, regarding the job you're in, what industry or how would you describe the field you're in?
It's in the retail industry.
So my sense is
home office of a large retail company.
Right, but somehow you're going to get either, in government we use the word seconded, you're going to get hijacked by another department within your existing company, or hijacked by a competitor, which means headhunted. So I'm not sure which one. Some other department or some other company is going to come along and say, hey, we need your skills, your expertise. Do you want to come over here? It's totally left field in the sense that it's going to be out of the blue and out of your scope, but you should say yes, because it will give your resume what it needs in diversity-wise to actually go to the next level faster.
Do you know
sometimes you have to jump out to jump back in.
Right. Do you see a time frame?
6 months.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would network as whatever is appropriate to your industry. Like, don't brown nose, but definitely be out there, circulate, and be open. Be open. So the thought for you is show me. Show me the opportunity. Show me where. Show me who. Show me when. And you're just keeping that program running as you work and do your good work. But take unexpected opportunities. Say yes. Because, again, there's something about your career portfolio needing diversity for you to be seen as a qualified executive.
Right.
Yeah. So sometimes, like, I had a friend who had to leave my hometown to go to buttfuck nowhere and be a manager so that she could come back and be the big hog here, So sometimes you have to leave to come back. And I get it's either within the company, different department, or external company that has similar and will give you a diversity.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So be open to that and let me know how it goes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks.
Wonderful, thank you.
Yeah, so Shefali, anybody, I'm getting a sense that anybody out there asking for a past life reading? For some reason, anyone asking for that?
I'll look in the Q&A just to see. No.
No. Okay. Yeah. No. There was a vibration of past life, so I wanted to see if. But
I have somebody who wants to know about their life purpose.
Sure. Excellent. Let's go.
So Sylvia, she's posted a question on the Q&A. Sylvia was asking if you could tell her what her life purpose is. How can I serve humanity better? How can I communicate with my angels? Who are my angels? And this is Sylvia in Toronto.
Those are a lot of questions.
Yeah, so pick one.
Yeah, so those are a lot of questions. We'll try and answer, the big one. Sorry, Sylvia from Toronto, you said?
Yeah, Sylvia from Toronto.
Yeah, so my sense is that Sylvia's first phase of her work will be an entrepreneur working within some kind of organization, helping as a social advocate or social architect. So her life purpose is social advocacy or social architect. These are the builders. These are the entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs who are here to do bigger things for the world, right? They make their money one way and then they build something over here, like Richard Branson, the Stronachs in Toronto, like, you know, who was in Canada, like, geez, like people who have success one way but then do other really cool stuff with their money, philanthropy, community building, that kind of thing. So at some point in Sylvia's world, she will see herself being able to leave the safety and the security of a job within an organization to be her own entrepreneur. So right now she's intrapreneur, and at some point in the next 3 years she'll be entrepreneur, so out of it. And as the exit happens, her leaving to be on her own, to do her own thing, that's when her world will really, really, really open up to the point where she might even be making connections with some international players. So whatever her field is, whatever her passions are, or whatever her projects will be, she'll start to meet these international players around year 3 from today. So let's say, you know, I don't know, like she wanted to work in Africa, she might meet, I don't know, Angelina Jolie or something, or she wants to help the environment, she might meet David Suzuki. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of, at some point, she's going to meet some really interesting people ahead of her that would have some kind of reputation, fame, or success in their fields. And she's going to start to network with those people and create collaborations, whether she's on a committee, she's part of some foundation, some kind of focus or project. So my sense is, right now, she just needs to, really in shamanism we say grow where you're planted. So wherever she is now, just be a conscious entrepreneur now and doing what she can within her time, money, and energy to network, connect, and to participate. Whether that's going to a charity event on her own time, whether that's donating some money, whether that's doing some volunteer work. It's simple stuff right now. And they're showing me that in the course of that simplicity of her just being in action, that over the next 3 years, that she is going to evolve, or the universe will provide the opportunity, the road will open, so that she gets into this sort of higher echelon of community building. So social architect, social advocate, community builder is her life purpose. How she gets there? By doing what she can with what she has now. The book I want her to read is Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting. Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting by Lynn Grabhorn. And then the prayer her guides want to give her is, let me serve and show me the way. That's her mantra every day. Let me serve and show me the way. And by the way, this applies to anybody who's looking for purpose. And the other tip is to read the book, Live the Life You Were Born to Live. So this is a fabulous tip for anyone looking for purpose. It's a book that's written by Dan Millman. So Live the Life You're Born to Live by Dan Millman. For whatever reason, Shefali, I don't have the answer. This guy wrote a book where, in my opinion, with a certain degree of accuracy, you will be able to find your life purpose.
Yeah, it's great. I have it too. I have it, and I'm trying to find it behind me because it's fantastic. Oh yeah, The Life You Were Born to Live. Oh,
Life You Were Born to Live. And my recommendation for people is to go to the local bookstore, grab a pen, paper, calculator, sit down somewhere safely in a little corner, read the first chapter because it gives you the math for the formula. Do the math. That's why I say bring a calculator. And then read your sections, because I tell you, this book is eerily accurate. Every client I've ever said read the book laughs and says, holy crap, and they end up buying the book because it's so accurate. So in her case, though, entrepreneur for now followed into an entrepreneur, social architect, social advocate. The universe will put her in places to be more connecting to bigger players so that can help do bigger things. For now, do where grow where she's planted every day. Let me serve, show me the way. Doing the violet flame, I can't stress this enough, especially if she wants to commune more deeply with her own angels, presence, guides, the universe, whatever. And it is all that, by the way, will help her do that.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Great question.
Tell her I wish her well, and read the book.
Exactly. Read the book. So it is called, again, The Life You Were Born to Live by Dan Millman. Yeah. A Guide to Finding Your Life Purpose. So if anybody has a life purpose question, read that book, The Life You Were Born to Live.
I don't mean to say I'm not going to answer a question. I mean to say, here's my answer, and read the book.
Yeah.
Because he adds much more depth to what makes you tick, what your challenges are, what your gifts are, and what sort of kinds of work you'd be good at.
Oh, absolutely. It's great. It's fantastic. Okay, so we're going to go to Virginia, area code 703, ending in 4680. Hello?
Say that again, dear. In Virginia?
Yeah, in Virginia.
I'm sorry. Yeah, is that her name, or is that the place she's from?
That's the place she's from. I think her name is Susie.
Yeah, sorry, what's her first name?
Susie.
Susie in Virginia, and what's her question?
Hi, Dan. How are you?
Oh, you're here. You're live. Okay, I'm writing this down thinking it's a question. Hello.
I'm here. Thank you so much. Oh, my God. Your life story was amazing.
Oh, well, yeah, live it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wish it on anybody.
No, I had a very rough life, too.
Yeah. So how can I help you, dear?
It made me stronger. I want to know about the job I am right now. I'm a contract worker, but is there a possibility for me to become permanent?
Yes, but can you tell me the employer, what kind of employer it is?
It's a financing.
Yeah, so my sense, dear, is it may not be in that building, in that employer. So the kind of work, yes, but maybe not necessarily in that like ABC company. Do you know what I mean? There's something about, to be honestly, I heard the word they're being cheap. Like either they're really focused on, finances, budget, or they're trying to, get by with like one person for 5 jobs, like that kind of thing. I'm not sure what it is, but
it's a very big corporation, but I just, my thing is that I've been contractor for the last 5-6 years.
Yes.
And company to company, I got laid off, but now I'm just trying to find a permanent position in same field.
Yes, okay, so this is what I'm suggesting. If that's the real question, it's not in that company. My sense is while you're there, still do your skills-based resume, still getting the headhunters and job placement people looking for you, or asking, industry insiders, to help you. Like I always tell people looking for jobs, tell 5 people that you can trust to be your agents on the road, in life, put the word out there. My sense is an old, I want to say even an employer 2 jobs ago or 2 something ago may come back to you and say, hey, are you working? We need someone here. You know what I mean? Like someone you've already met, someone you've already been vetted out through is going to come back and ask a question. So I would go back to old employers you feel you have a good relationship with. Make a short list, even if it's a short list, make it. And let them know that you're looking for a permanent position and you realize they may not have anything right now, but could they, keep you in mind? My sense is that kind of connection, whether that's an email or phone call or text, makes someone remember, and when there's a problem or an opening in their department or their company, they remember you. Okay. So it's out of the blue, but from someone you know. I see. And right now the likelihood is not your current employer. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I have 1 year more left with them, hopefully, Yes, but then what happens? What happens after that? Then you got to leave. Yeah. Right. Okay. So in between now and then, I see this coming in the next 6 months. So I would say, thank the universe that you have a year's, space to sort of look for a new job. My sense is look for a permanent job. So I think your task right now, Susie, is to say, I don't want anything contract anymore. Right. Like that's what it is. Exactly. That's what I want. No, but make the decision though. Say to the universe, I get the contract world. Thank you for the experience. Right. Now bring me a permanent job. Okay. Yeah. And make your short list of 5 people that you can trust with that question and query. Start networking in the local community where it's appropriate and where there's discretion so you don't get sort of nailed back. And keep saying, show me, show me, show me. Talk to the universe, show me, show me, show me. To me, it's within 6 months.
Thank you.
Yeah, so be well and let me know how it goes.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Thank you, Susie. Okay, fantastic. We're going to go to Tennessee. Area code 423 in Tennessee. Hello.
Hi. This is Janet.
Hello, Tennessee.
Hi.
Hi, how can I help you, dear?
Well, I just wanted to know what I need to do for my ascended masters or guides. I've got this fear that it's not going to be safe to open up and use my gifts. So what can I do to release that?
Yes. So one of your guides happens to be Jesus Christ himself, and I'm not talking about religious Christ. So even if you are, God bless, I'm talking about cosmic Christ. Happens to be Jesus, but Jesus, cosmic Christ. He's telling me that you've had many lifetimes before where you were like persecuted, or it was more, he's showing me like where you were limited. So think of this scenario where you were, let's say, famous for your gifts, talents, or abilities, and people kept you away from life. Like you were locked up in a good way. It's kind of like the princess in the tower, you know, nice tower, she's in the castle, but she can't go out anywhere. So it's almost like you have a fear of losing your humanity, losing your freedom, losing your ability to be normal, you know, to be human, to go for ice cream, or, you know, to walk the dog. So my sense is, like, I think you might be afraid you're, like, going to be like Teresa Caputo and everyone wants her, you know, like she won't have any anonymity anymore. So just watch those fears, because I think that's what really your problem is. It's losing something, like losing your humanity, losing your normalness. And he's asking you to do forgiveness. So every night before bed, 45-day forgiveness cycle is I forgive myself, I forgive him, I forgive her, I forgive them, I forgive life. You keep it kind of general. Do your 15 minutes of the violet flame, as we've been talking about, and start to see other communicators that you admire, that you enjoy, that you've read about, or read books that they've written, and see how normal they are. So they can have their work scheduled, you know, Monday to Friday or 9 to 5, but they're human, they're normal on weekends, you know, like they have their time. There's something about really, you know, they're telling me your issue is time to be normal, time to have a family, time to, you don't want to be consumed by it. You don't want to be so good that you're overwhelmed by it. So just know that you can have it very controlled. You can do this work, as you know, on the internet with a pseudonym. People don't even need to know your name. You can do it with your first name only. So you control the environment. You could do it on Skype. You could do it over the internet. There's a lot of ways of handling it that will let you feel safe and being of service.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, be well. Let me know how it goes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Wonderful, thank you.
So, Shefali, my dear, I'm so sorry. Yeah. I do have to go soon because my little boy has been waiting up for me, and he's not quite sleepy yet. So he's been waiting for mommy. I can see his hands under the door.
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, no, I was just looking at the time.
Do one last question. Yeah, well, we can do one last question before I have to go. Again, here's the, you know, that lady's question is, I'm a mommy all the time, who happens to be a working mommy. But anyone who wants to come, you know, get a reading, I do this work online, on Skype. I do the healing, the psychic stuff, the ascended work. Not a problem if we're not in the same community. It works just as well. And everyone who does want to, you know, come in for a reading, I'm happy to offer them a discount. You can just send me an email or on Facebook, however you want to communicate with me online. Just do the code Happiness Now, and happy to offer you an $80 session, which is a $40 discount for new clients, $80 Canadian. Don't know what that translates into other currencies, but it's pretty good. Pretty good.
It's pretty much the same in the U.S. anyways. But Jen, I found that past life question. After all, she was having a hard time.
Oh yes, let's end it with that. That's good.
So it's Penny O'Neill, I think, and she says, my 88-year-old father is in a nursing home, and we spend hours every day together. We've had the blessing of many deep conversations, but I get the feeling there's some unfinished business or karmic reason that he can't be at peace.
Yeah, so that's not his past life, that's his present life. So the question is really, you know, why is he not dying with grace? Why is he not letting go? What is he feeling guilty about? So my sense is he doesn't feel completed. So to answer Penny's question, it's present life situation. It's like there's a part of the father that feels like a failure.
Right.
Feels like he's run out of time or run out of road before he was able to complete what he needed to complete in his mind. So I would have conversations with Dad if Dad is still lucid and conversing, you know, intelligently. You know, Dad, do you have any regrets? Is there anything you would do differently? Can you, you know, do you have any advice for me as I live my next 50 years? You know, what would you do different? Try to ask open-ended questions to elicit his responses to see if he'll open up about an event or situation. And my sense is it's an event that happened in his early 20s. So something as a younger man that he felt he failed. There's a failure energy in his vibration. So what I would simply tell you to do is pray for your father, ask Divine Mother. It's the safest one to do. I call upon Divine Mother, and Divine Mother is everywhere to flood my father with unconditional love and the help and healing he needs at this time to be at peace. She can also call on the Goddess of Peace, and she can also call on the Elohim of Peace. There's many versions of peace out there, just so you know. There's an archangel, there's an Elohim, and a goddess. Call on all the devotional figures of peace. See peace as an energy that's going to flow into the Father as a life experience. She needs to do this every day, though. And it's to try to ask the Father open-ended questions about failure, regret, to see what he says. That will give her a clue about the event. It's around age 22. That's all I get. It's age 22.
Oh, wonderful. That's great. I think that'll be helpful for her. So for those of you who are on the webcast page, you can click on Speaker Special Offer just to see Jen's website. Or if you're on the phone, you can go to awakentohappinessnow.com/Jen, which will take you to her website, and you can see all of the different services that she offers, healing, coaching, intuitive readings, you know, all sorts of stuff, which she does, you know, online, via phone, in person, all that fun stuff. So take a look at it.
And soon Shefali will get me doing the webinars.
Yes, I'm getting her to be more global, because this was so much fun, wasn't it, Jen?
Oh yeah, I would happy to. I know, Shefali, I would happy to do this on a regular basis. I just have to respect the time of my family, and my son, just because he can hear my voice at home, he knows I'm home.
Of course, of course. Yes.
I think he's on mommy mode right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, this was so much fun, and like obviously we still have tons of people with questions and so on, but we will have to have Jen come back on again just so that she can be of service to you guys, because you know these questions that she gave. The answers that she gave to us were so right on and clear, and you know, they really resonated, I think, with everybody who was listening. So thank you so much, Jen.
Well, I appreciate that. And please know that, as you've mentioned, Shefali, that the answers the angels of the higher realms give is the truth for everybody. They don't just apply to one person. It's advice or counsel or guidance that you can apply to any situation universally. So just take something that was shared with someone else and see if that might apply to you. And if nothing else, just do the darn violet flame. and post up your wonderful successes on our Facebook page.
Yeah, so go back and listen to this recording again, because there was a lot of content, a lot of good things that Jen said to each of the callers and people who submitted questions. So go back and listen to it all, and whatever resonates with you, take it and use it. And you know, do the violet flame, do the forgiveness prayer. I don't know. There's so much more that you said, Jen, but we'll go with that.
Yeah, sea salt baths, grounding, meditations online. These are all sort of basic, but they work. Again, they're so basic, they work.
They're so basic and they work if you use them, if you do them. So please do that. So yeah,
right.
Thank you. Yeah, this was fantastic. I loved it, Jen. It was so much fun, like always, talking to you.
Well, thank you, Shefali, for inviting me, and thank you to everyone for tuning in around the world, and blessings to everyone. Know that everyone has the power within them to find the answers, and just do the violet flame to clear your fields, root yourself in Mother Earth, open yourself up, and it will naturally happen to you anyway.
Absolutely. So thank you, everyone, all the people listening, all the people who submitted questions, all the people who have their hands raised still. We will get you next time. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night and continue to live a life filled with joy, peace, love, abundance, and happiness. And I'm challenging you all to do the Violet Flame every day for at least 7 days. Try it and see, and let me know what happens. Just let me know what you get from it. I think it'll be fun. So I'm going to do it today, starting today, for 7 days at least. And I will share. I will share what I find.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone. Have a great night, and we'll see you again soon.
Namaste.